All right. Okay, we're synced up. Welcome to the whatever this is podcast with Razor Reviews. Who the hell are you?
I am the Razor Reviews. I am a fucking oh Jesus. I am a member of the I'm a content creator. That's in short what I am, but as well I am a part of the pony analysis community. That's like something I decided to fucking stick myself to. Nowadays I'm kind of regretting it, but it's whatever. In short.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the pony analysis community even still exists.
I'm surprised it still exists too. It's kind of like dead, but there are people who still make stuff for it. There are people who are good who still make stuff for it. I don't know why they do, but there are. There's like, and like, it's fucking. I don't understand how the pony analysis community can even like function at this point. That's because the show is still happening. As long as the show still continues, there will always be members of the pony analysis community. Once the show is like over, it's gonna instantly die. Like it's already kind of dead now. It's just gonna fucking die. But what are you gonna do? We're stubborn like that, I guess.
I would get that just from looking at the brony community. I've never been part of that community, but I do love the show a lot. But I mean, as long as Dr. Wolf keeps making videos, as long as that guy
Fucking hell.
is somehow still alive, it's gonna stay around. He's like the leader these days, as sad as that is to say.
As long as Dr. Wolf is around, there will be continuously artists who are going to be skimped out of paid work, because that's really all he does. He just fucking like, and mind you, everyone knows this. Anyone who's been in the community for like 5 minutes knows that Dr. Wolf is a money grubbing bit of a bastard who doesn't pay any of his artists no matter how good the work is. And because he's so-called, horse famous or whatever, nothing ever, nothing ever changes, and the fandom hasn't betrayed him like they have with KP, so they haven't kicked them out yet, or ever voted him off the fucking island, so it's like, nothing we can do, really.
He's a fucking Jew.
Yeah, he's a bit of a crystal Jew, to be honest. Though, fucking Skype, shut up. Okay. But honestly though, there's no like leader of the brony analysis community at this point. There is like no, clarified. This is the guy who like leads the group or whatever. It used to be Digi when he was there, but now he's gone, so he's not the leader anymore. So now it's like just a bunch of different like, factions, right? There's the head faction. Like, those are, like, the top-tier people, the people who everyone kind of knows about. Well, they're with varying degrees of quality. Most of them, like, aren't, most of their analysis is not deep or good, but they make content, and it's slightly entertaining, a little bit, so they're around still. And they might do other shit, I don't know. But, so that's people like Josh Scorcher. I love Kim Possible a lot. Those fucking people, right? Anyone who's like, basically anyone who's like 20k and up goes in that group. So like Toon Critic Y2K, fucking Lightning Bliss, like those guys, they go up in that category, right? Silver Quill, how about that? We'll throw them there. Then there's like, then downwards, then you have like, the people who are like, it's a very small like middle class where it's like people who are like from like 1,000 to like 15,000. That's a wide range, but like they have their own little, not like a group, but it's like those people are different than the people who are below them. That's why they're in their own class, at least from what I see. So that's people like, I don't know, like fucking Finn the Pony or whatever. People who are well known, or like Ty and Dega, that guy, like, people who are known, but they're not like, horse famous. Like they can't get like a community guest badge at a convention or whatever. They can't get away with that because they're not famous enough. And people like that. And then there's the bottom tier, which is like, there's a couple of tiers at the bottom, but I'm like near the bottom tier, and that's like people who are either they aren't well known, or like they suck. It depends on what their content is. Either they suck or they're not well known, and they have like a low subscriber count. But like, they get treated like they get to hang out with all the other guys at the top because they're just part of the same community. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah. So you're in like the group of people like Foul Play and For No Good Reason.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. That I'm actually good friends with Foul Play, so I have no like quarrel with that guy. He's cool. But he should just like, start making shit. Oh, he's making a game right now, so it doesn't matter. But it's like fucking okay. The kind of like an amazing man, like For No Good Reason, such an esteemed individual, really good guy, He's actually though, for real, like he's actually kind of cool. It's just like, like the places he normally hangs out with are usually in his own rooms, so you can't like fuck with them too much, or else, you have to have like establish that relationship of fucking with each other, or else you will be kicked out of the room. So, it's like, what do you do? That man has like way too much power, for the kind of dude he is.
I really like For No Good Reason's videos.
I swear.
They're like, I know people have like drama or a problem with him or something. I don't know. I think his videos are pretty good, but they're a little bit tangential. But it's like I'm so far away from that community that I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like the Horseshoe Crew or whatever. Like, from what they've said, Give and Take and Drowning in Horseshoes they've openly admitted to watching For No Good Reason. Obviously, Digi watches him because they're friends. They've all, and that's kind of like the appeal. It's just like what kind of like weird kooky stuff is the fandom getting up to today, right? But I think sometimes I have two main quarrels with Hanat Brony. For one, the editing's terrible. Two, sometimes he can get a story wrong, and when that does happen, it's bad because then the previous thing is like the person could go through major shit for no reason, for no good reason. So, it becomes like, it becomes careful. He's basically like the Keemstar of the pony analysis community, except Keemstar is like actually a piece of shit, whereas Anthony is just like not a good person, but he's cool to hang out with. So
yeah. He seems cool. I know a couple people who go on the board, the 8chan board, lolcow, who particularly dislike him, but he seems like a cool guy. I think the editing adds charm. To be honest, like it's pretty bad, but it's its own thing. It's kind of grimy, like black metal or something.
I know what you're talking about. It's like this very specific aesthetic that like you can't articulate it very well, but it's like its own thing. Like no one, there's very few who can get away with editing like good old FNGR.
I want to talk to Foul Play at some point.
He is cool though, as long as you don't associate yourself with people.
Cool,
who like
but I just cut you off there. Internet's really bad.
It's all right, but I did cut you off as well. I do apologize. I just want to make one last thing, and then you can go ahead to get to what you were saying. But as long as you don't associate yourself with people he doesn't like, you're fine. Like, you're genuinely, like, he'll treat you very well. Like, he's fucking friends with Josh Scorcher now, don't you know? Someone he had beef with for, like, I don't know, like 2+ years. He's, like, fine with them now, right? Either way, go ahead.
Yeah. Which, me and FNGR, we actually share a collective hatred of Munchie. Not Ben, I like Ben, but we both hate the Munch, which is very validating for me. Yeah, Foul Play also seems like a cool guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, you hate the Munch?
Yeah, I I don't know. I just think he's not that funny and kind of obnoxious. And there's been rumors of him, acting like an egotistical jackass. And I don't know. He just sounds kind of like an. Hmm?
Honestly,
Go on.
any claim that someone can make of Munchie, I'd probably be able to believe them. That's the kind of man that Munchie is, just from what I see. He seems like, someone who's kind of an egotistical asshole, but also kind of like, he's also pretty, is there, because as someone who has talked to him in call before, he's actually pretty cool, sometimes. And like, he kind of, I think a lot of people in the TPC fan chat kind of, at least when he was more active in that, they would kind of play into his like weird retardation, and he'd seem like the normal one, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Other than that, I just think his humor is kind of not funny. And people get on my nuts about this all the time. How dare you not like Munchie, our god? I don't know. His comedy just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's like, it's a 50-50, honestly. Like, they like it, obviously, just like, they all like it, so that's why he's a part of the group or whatever. But it's like, it just depends on the kind of person you are. I think sometimes he is pretty funny. I think sometimes he's not. It changes.
I mean, sometimes I do agree that sometimes he has some pretty good jokes, but I feel like he kind of downgrades the PCP a little bit, and so does Mumkey. Even though I love Mumkey, and he has contributed to some good discussion on the episodes, I feel like both of them are making the PCP like a totally different thing, because Mumkey is a political guy and Munchie is just this screeching autist, and Digi is barely ever on there, and it completely loses the vibe the Horsecast used to have, which PCP was basically just the Horseshoe Crew plus Devu. And now it's like a totally different thing, and I'm not a fan of it at all.
It's well, I actually haven't. This is gonna be like exclusive hot take right here. I've never actually watched a horse cast all the way through at all. I've never been, and from what I've heard about horse casts, they are pretty good. But I've never actually successfully. I would have to listen to them for one in order, from like the first one with Jesse and Digi, and then go all the way back through the archive. I wouldn't be able to just like start at like a really good one,
Yeah, I recommend that you watch them chronologically, because there's and I also recommend watching the videos as you watch the Horsecast, but because when I watched it, or when I first listened to it, I mean, I was watching Tommy Oliver, Digi, and Jesse chronologically, and then listening to the Horsecast at the time, and then I had a better understanding of what they were talking about. But I don't think you really need to do that, because you already know all this stuff. I didn't at the time. So like, I don't know. The show has this very fun, kind of chill Iyashike atmosphere to it, where it's just kind of two guys who have great chemistry with one another talking about this very weird period of time in their lives. And I just wish there was more of it, because it's so good. It's probably my favorite podcast of all time, simply because it feels so intimate.
Huh. Interesting. Now, I mean, that's like kind of, some podcasts I have issue with, because it's like, it's hard to be entertaining, and if, they don't mesh the best, then it's like it fucking sucks dick. So, I'm gonna have to watch that at some point. Mind you, I take so long watching shit that it's like I might never ever get around to it, but I'm hoping I do. I haven't even gotten through all the fucking PCP stuff yet, because I want to be able to get through all that shit chronologically. I'm stuck at like episode 16 or 15. I haven't been able to finish it.
Yeah. With the PCP, I just listen to the ones that look interesting to me. Like, I don't even care, because the stuff they're talking about isn't topical, except for like Mumkey's channel dying or something like that. Yeah, that's topical, but like I know it happened. The stuff they talk about on there is more just topic oriented, so it doesn't really need to be done chronologically. Um, uh, forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of guy who will just watch things all in one go and then be done. Like I know people who have stuff like ADHD and they need to constantly be flipping through videos.
Sometimes I get like that. I do. Sometimes I am able to focus myself and like center on a very specific series and like blaze through that. And when I first started watching Digi's stuff, that's what I was like. But then I got to the Q&A, I haven't been able to get past that because it's like a 4-hour long
Yeah.
Q&A.
Um, I mean I can sit through Digi for like 6 hours in one sitting, maybe even 12. I think I probably have sat through Digi
Jesus
content
fuck.
in 12 hours. But also at that time I was basically a NEET and I did nothing but watch YouTube constantly and I was super depressed. So that probably helped.
Yeah, that would probably help. um, yeah, because I hate not being productive, so I spend part of the time I think probably not like hating myself like for not being productive. So that's why I don't watch YouTube as much as I used to. And as well, there's like other shit I have to do, like talk and fucking like interact with the fandom and shit. So I have to like take time away from watching YouTube videos to do that. And as well to actually make content, because that's also a thing you have to do.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I only have so many hours in the day, and as well, I like to enjoy myself and go to things and, like, play video games and, like, not want to die. So, there's only so much time I have, right?
Yeah. I mean lately I've just been like I haven't even been focusing much on making content or even watching YouTube. Like I'll watch a little bit of Digi and this other guy called Magos. But other than that I don't even watch all that much YouTube anymore. I mostly have just been watching anime. Uh and going out and like fishing and going on walks and stuff like that in the real world. It's so new.
What the fuck? You're going in the real world? Get the fuck out of here, you goddamn normie.
Yeah. Which other than that, I've just been watching some Steven Universe.
Ah, yes, that one show that you make videos for sometimes.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna make a Steven Universe video. For once every day for a whole month. Maybe I'll actually make a Steven Universe video. Here we go. I'm not actually doing that, but I am gonna make a video on it.
Oh my god, dude! That's how you fucking grow the channel. You do like a Mia Math of a parody, except it's Steven Universe, and you do that for a whole month, and then you just do that. There you go. You got
Yeah, that actually that's a really good idea. I mean, I did get posted on Beach City Buggle like not too long ago. They posted my Lars video, because the staff likes Lars, so they're like, we're gonna put you on here. But then Beach City Buggle with my other video about like the fandom or something, they thought like I made a joke about cancer, and they said, well, cancer is not a joke. It's a very serious topic, and we're offended that you said this in your video, so we're not going to post you here.
Are you? Oh, okay. I remember because I believe the people who run Beach City Bugle are the same people who run Equestria Daily, and
Yeah,
holy
it's the
fuck.
same people.
If you remember back in the day, Jesse once said, I forget what he was talking about, but he's like, unless you say nigger or faggot, or else you won't be posted on the front page of Equestria Daily. Because only children go on that site, right? Because it's the same fucking people, and it's a problem that everyone talks about, is that they try to be PC, but the people who go on the fucking website are like they don't give a shit. So it's like it doesn't really matter. And you thought, and from what you were saying, it wasn't a joke. It was you were using the term grammatically correctly. So fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even a joke that I was talking. I was talking about the way the internet uses that term specifically. Like, I was basically paraphrasing someone else. I wasn't even saying this fandom is cancerous or, talking about it in a facetious light. I was just saying this is what someone has said, and in the thumbnail I had cancer question mark because clickbait, but I wasn't even making it a joke. It's like, what are you talking about, Beach City Puggle? Are you autistic?
Oh fuck. God damn it. It's like I think these guys also. Here's the thing. The problem is like I can't remember if it's the same mods who run. I know it's associated directly with Equestria Daily, but I don't remember if it's the same mods or if it's like they work really
Some
closely. Like
yeah,
if
some
Seth
of them
is
are the
on
same
there,
mods.
wouldn't surprise me. It's probably why, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I just have to be more PC in my videos to make it to where I can get posted on Beach City Buggle. Because that Lars video, like, it jumped up like 100 views or something when it got posted on there. So, yeah. I need that Steven Universe money.
Bro, like... honestly, as someone who has been posting on Equestria Daily, having that nice 100 view boost or whatever from like one of those websites is pretty good. Like, it's nice, but of course, you shouldn't. Mind you, you don't really swear that much in your Steven Universe videos, so it's like you wouldn't really have an issue with that. Even that you can swear, you just can't use like real bad shit. Honestly, your content probably wouldn't change like almost at all. It's just because you had cancer question mark in the fucking thing, that one thing that like cucked you. But you could easily get on there. I've been on Equestria Daily I think 3 or 4 or 5 times, I think.
Yeah.
Because my shit's
amazing.
good.
It's amazing how similar the Brony community and the Steven Universe community are, because I think they're basically the same people.
It's very similar. There are slightly different people because, for one, there's a lot more retarded theories in the Steven Universe fandom than there is. There's a lot like worse shit, I think, in the Steven Universe fandom. And there's also a lot more of the hashtag S Jews in the Steven Universe fandom than there is in the Pony fandom. There's also a lot less autistic people in the Steven Universe fandom, but so there are slight differences, but they are very similar. They are very, very similar because it's just similar people, so you're gonna get like similar things. There's not the same exact like problems I have with like Steven Universe fandom and the Pony fandom, like because the Pony fandom's kind of like it's a lot more chill now because the people who are in it have gotten older. So, like, collectively, technically, it's gotten collectively older, so they're not as, like, entrenched in the fandom anymore, and so they're just kind of casually watching the thing. So, technically, they're part of the fandom, but they're not, like, people are gonna go and, like, post on, like, like, and post and tell an artist to kill themselves or whatever. They're not like that. But Steven Universe is newer, so it's not gonna... It hasn't matured as much. And there's a lot less content for it. Because fuck Cartoon Network.
Yeah. I mean, if you go on the YouTubes and you look at Steven Universe videos, I'm obviously the best Steven Universe channel. I'm not even saying that as a meme. There's no contest. No one is making videos as high quality as mine.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. You probably... That's half the reason I even fucking followed you, because you weren't shit. Because it was like, oh my god, like, I remember 2 things that appealed me to your channel. One, it was, it was appealing, it was the weird, like, pumpkin background, because I saw the Lars video first, and as well, it was the fact that it wasn't a shitty theory video. So the fact, like, Steven Universe, when it comes to Steven Universe analysis, you have the best content by far out of everybody else there. Mind you, people say the same shit about my stuff because so many of the pony analysis people aren't actual analysis, it's just reviews. But because I do actual analysis, I get noticed by people more often, so it's like, you know, there's benefits to it, right?
Yeah. Like my videos are obviously not good. They're you know, sloppy, and they could be a lot better. But in terms of the Steven Universe community, I'm basically a god.
Well, it's like, fucking. Well, like, here's the thing. Like, if people have been saying this with my stuff for like a long time, it's just the production itself is like low budget as hell. Even with, you know, with having that. But actually, that's kind of part of the charm that you have, like, you know, a Photoshop Patrick Star as, like, you know, your fucking avatar. Like, your avatar slash, like, your character, like the OC in the corner thing that Digi used to do. Like, actually, I like that. That's cool. Don't fucking ever get rid of that. Or, like, if you change it, get, like, an upgraded version. Where it's, like,
Yeah,
you know, an
I'm
artist...
not gonna...
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get rid of Patrick. If I do, I would get like someone to draw me Patrick, but with the little star that Steven has on his shirt, on Patrick's belly.
So that would be your fucking gemstone. Is Patrick
Yeah.
Star with the Steam Universe star on his belly? Yeah, honestly, that's pretty good. Or like Star with his pants or something.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I thought of that specifically is because my friend Weeb Trash Productions drew me some fan art, and it had like the Toilet Man from the Outlaws Toilet channel, the Outlaw Harvest guy, and then it had Patrick. It just had Patrick there, and he had that on his stomach, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. But I don't have money, so I can't pay anybody, and I don't trust any artists, and also I always overpay everyone.
What the fuck? You overpay? I ask for rates, and then I pay the rates exactly.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I ask the rates, but then I feel bad because I feel like they're underpaying.
No, 100%. Even if they are, don't say that. Because every artist, if they will overcharge you. A lot of artists I see who are good, especially, will overcharge for their actual work. Even if they spend 2 to 3 hours on a piece. I spent like 8 hours making a fucking video, so fuck you.
Yeah, but I just can't handle not giving someone, you know, enough money. It just feels so bad. Like, they're doing such good work for me of all people, and they're undercharging. I just feel so bad about it.
Well, it's like, you know, I had someone who did artwork for me largely for free for like a very, very long time, and they were cool with it because, for one, they're rich, so they don't really need the money. As well, like, we're just good friends nowadays anyway, and they're a really cool person, and they're like, oh shit, like, you know, they saw my content as an opportunity for them to work on their own work, so we kind of, you know, work with that. You know, and if she asks me for something, I'll do it or whatever. Or if she asks me to promote her stuff, then I'll go ahead and do that. So it's like, you know, we actively work together for a very long time, for like 2 years. So it's like, you know, you have to find workarounds. You have to get really lucky as well and see if you can get someone to make you, like, if you can get someone else to make you fan art, you can ask them to make your stuff for you.
Yeah.
I need
to get fans on the Steven channel first, because, like, I have 20 subs on that channel, and they're all very dedicated, because I've had people actually message me on Tumblr asking, when are the new videos coming out? I had a man with, like, over 40K, I think, telling me how good my videos were. This animator guy, what's his name? Jake, something? Let me go to his Discord, and I'll remember who he is, if I haven't gotten kicked out of there somehow. Where is his Discord? His name starts with a J, I know that. The Abridging Archive, the Leftist server, Neutron Universe, is that his name?
I don't know. Why are you
Where
asking me?
is this guy? This is okay. Jake Neutron. Jake Neutron, a man with over 40,000
Jake
subscribers,
Neutron,
I
and he has
believe,
like 40K
told me my
followers.
content was great and that he loves it. So that just goes to show, uh, everybody needs to get good.
Well, that's why you need to do a Mia Math of a fucking Outlaw Universe parody thing. So you just make a Steven Universe video every day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do that in the month of September, because August. I think after August, I'll finally have gotten my bearings, and moved all the way into this new house. And in September, I can just watch Steven Universe and make a bunch of videos about it. And I'll probably talk about like fan content too, and how that relates to the show and what I think. And I'll probably talk about like feminism or something.
Well, like, I think technically, I think yeah, you could get away with that on your channel because that's exactly what Digi did. He talked about like molestia and stuff on his channel. If you can talk about molestia, you're fine, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if molestia is like if that's archived somewhere, because
There is an archive
uh,
of some molestia posts. It's just like there's not too many left, and there's no new ones because that's not legal anymore.
yeah, that's unfortunate that those SJW cucks had to destroy all of the fun for us who actually have, can understand senses of humor and can understand other people's emotions. But oh no, I'm being autist phobic or autist gendered phobic or whatever.
You're being ableist, you fuck.
I see the ironic thing about this is I'm the most blue-pilled person,
Yeah,
because
you are
I'm an
hardcore blue pill.
unironic communist.
Yeah, you're. Well, I think in social circles, oh shit, you'd be called a brocialist. That's what you'd be called.
Yeah.
So, brocialist extraordinaire right here, Outlaw Harvest. Get it while it lasts. I don't know what I was doing, but it is very well. Also, mind you, it wasn't the SJWs that actually took down Molestia. It was Hasbro because McCall Oliver by accident tweeted a picture from Molestia, and then Hasbro found out, and then they saw Molestia, and because how trademarks work, because mind you, any piece of fan art is basically a company ignoring that trademark. As long as they don't know about it and their lawyers don't know about it, they can technically allow it to stay. But if they do find fan art, they have to take it down because that's how trademarks work. Because trademarks it's very strict laws. It's really retarded. But with that kind of thing, because Molestia looks so similar to Celestia, then they have to take it down.
Yeah. In other words, we need to dismantle the means of production and take the power out of these capitalists so they can stop destroying great art. Give power back to the worker and revolutionize the system today.
Exactly. Seize the memes of Molestia.
Yeah. I'm radicalizing people every day, I see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I was already an ironic communist, so it doesn't. It's memeing about it is not any different. But I'm slowly, actually, for real though, I am slowly turning over people to the good life, that good commie life.
Yeah, a communist.
Well, your mic went really retarded there. Can you please repeat that?
I offend so many people. I've actually lost friends because of my communistic beliefs. Although those were people I didn't talk to very much, so fuck them. I think I've legitimately offended some people by my beliefs.
Well, honestly though, you could like subtly talk about socialism and communism, and you could technically get away with it. Um, like I do, like that's something I do. I'll like implant
Mm.
subtly communistic ideas and like socialism and Marxism philosophy into like my language sometimes, and people don't notice at all. And so I can start talking about other shit, and it's like, yeah, yeah. As long as I don't bring up the S word or the C word, they're like fine. Um, like they're generally speaking, like open to the idea. You'd only have to give them the S word and the C word when you have to say that's what that is, right? That's only after they fully accept those beliefs. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, if you think about it, Obama had somewhat supplanted some socialistic idea, more specifically democratic socialism, not like on the actual side of socialism versus capitalism, but the capitalistic side of socialism. He supplanted some of that into his own rhetoric without overtly saying it. And I think Bernie Sanders, he probably can't say it publicly, but I believe he might actually be a communist himself, because communism is the full culmination of socialism, like bridging the gap where money still exists and things like that. And then you like revisionist Marxism where you have like Maoism and stuff like that. But the final edition is would be communism, where like money just doesn't exist and classes don't exist, and like people don't starve anymore or whatever.
yeah, well, that's like and any kind of there's only a very select sects of socialism or socialism that aren't communistic, because any kind of either you're an orthodox Marxist or you're an anarchist, you believe in communism, right? Or you subscribe to the theory of communism. And what the fuck is that? Sounds like someone shooting a gun outside my window. But oh, they're about to have the communism revolution right now. But it's like the fundamental aspect, the end goal of communism is like there for like 90% of like most things that are socialist esque, right?
Star Trek is technically communistic because in Star Trek money doesn't exist and people can just pursue whatever they want. Like, they've eliminated having to fight over money, and all they do now is just better themselves and better technology. We need to get to Starfleet.
Full luxury fully automated luxury gay space communism. Well,
I
yeah.
love
Well, technically, I
I love
think.
that
Oh yeah.
that Karl Marx quote, last words are for those fools who believe they have not said enough.
Oh, Marx honestly is Marx is such an interesting man because he's like, I think he is probably the most important political philosopher ever. More important than Adam Smith, more important than like John Locke, any of those fuckers, because obviously he's birthed such a ever expanding idea, fundamentally speaking, and that's been taken by so many different people and interpreted so many different ways. It's such a fascinating individual. I wish if he would. Dude, if that dude was alive, I would like society would be so different if Marx was still alive.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Um. It's pretty good.
It's communism. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually though, if I fucking Christ, wow. Wow, he just guys, you don't know this. He Outlaw just sent me a picture in the chat, and it's this amazing fucking oh, what do they call it? I forgot what this was earlier. It's what do you?
This is from the Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Games, yes. Wow, unironically has a hammer and sickle avatar. Is allies with Joseph Stalin. Long live Stalin. Why didn't you have fucking Zizek, you fucker?
I didn't make this. My friend Larva made this.
He should edit it and put Zizek in there because he needs to have fucking Zizek. Besides that, everything else is perfect. Brotherman Jeff, Audio Adolf.
Audio Adolf is the bot that records our podcasts in that server.
Okay. Well, you better put this in, like, I don't know what this podcast is going to look like visually speaking. That either it will have like an actual thumbnail, like, you know, not like an actual like background and thumbnail and shit, or it won't. If you do decide to, we better put that in there because we're talking about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that as the thumbnail, even though this podcast has nothing to do with the chromasticators whatsoever. It's just funny.
Yeah. What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh, you also have to show me that fucking Patrick Star fan.
You can go on what's it called? What's my YouTube channel called? Outlaws Graveyard Shift. Just go on that channel, and like if you scroll through the videos, you'll eventually find one that's like titled fan art or whatever.
I could just type it in the search bar. Got it. There we go. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. My browser was fucking up. It was still playing your voice, so it was freaking me out. Okay.
I told you Firefox was bad, you cock!
It's a good. Fuck you.
Aye, comrade.
Oh, don't. Ew. I hate it when people call me comrade.
I was doing it ironically, I promise.
I know. Yeah, there's I honestly only like it if girls call me comrade, not because they're girl. I don't know, not because like whether I'm attracted to them or not. It's only like it is only good if girls if girls say comrade because that's the only one I can like stomach.
Yeah. I mean like there's like a moe aspect of like cute girls doing cute things. That's one of them. But like I'm gay, so it probably doesn't affect me in the same moe way as it would for some people.
No, probably not, to be honest. Probably not at all.
You cut out there. I couldn't tell what you said.
I said, yeah, probably not, like, at all. But, fucking Christ. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. So, I sent you a message just randomly in the fucking chat I wrote, like, two really good paragraphs on, Forever Philly. Because I'm making a video about that episode at some point in the future. And for me, writing is difficult because either I need to like be forced into it, or like I'll be inspired for like an hour or two, and then that's it. Like I'll be capped for like a couple of days. I'll need to recharge again. Just because writing is so. I don't know. I like it a lot, but it's hard for me. I don't know why. I've never like I wouldn't surprise me if I've had fucking ADD, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean you take quite a while to get through watching videos, so I'd imagine like trying to dedicate yourself to one is hard. I mean I'm kind of the same way, but the way I get around that is just by writing videos out really really fast so I can get to the next idea. Because I've always written really fast. I don't know, like. And at first, I mean, it still sounds rambly and bad, but at first it was just a complete mess, and it was only after I did it so much
that you got not shit.
Yeah.
It's weird. My writing style changes depending on who I want to copy at the time. So, for example, I don't remember if I told you this yesterday. But how I got, because if you look at my earlier videos, they are fucking terrible, and the writing in them. For one, I had a series where I didn't write. That was a mistake. But as well, there was another series I had where it was like I wrote it, but the writing was shitty and terrible, and the only way I got good was I binge watched a bunch of Digibrony, like early Digibrony, because that's when people say he was at his best, was in the early days. So I binge watched a shit ton of early Digibrony, and then one day when I was writing a script for an episode that just came out, a really boring episode, by the way. It was Applejack's Day Off. That was the episode, and at the end of that of me writing the video, I was writing about and the most of the video is like the same as like my earlier shit, but at the very end there's this one part that is like everything else I made after it, and it was this final paragraph where I got really in depth and like really analytically thought out about the whole like how bad habits are formed and shit. It was like the best part of the video, and from then on. And it was written similar to Digi's style, so from then on, I just wrote in that same exact way. I wrote in like a sort of a pseudo Digi style, and it like was good. And I actually kind of agree with you. Like I write the best when I do it all in like one day, and then I kind of edit it a little bit. I like maybe add a paragraph or two, because having to come back and add paragraphs and shit over the course of a couple of days is a pain in the ass, and I never get around to it. So it's like maybe I just need like, and also I have to be inspired to do it too, like I said earlier. So I have to just kind of like do it all in one time, even though it's like really tiring. I just have to like get through it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean you'll probably get over that just by virtue of like doing it so much, but yeah, I mean the only reason I can like do it at any time is just because I've done it so many times that I'm used to it.
You like cut out there. Sorry, man, I can't hear you.
Oh, I said the only reason I can do it at any time is because I've done it so many times. Did you hear that? Oh, did I cut out again?
Yes, you did. This fucking
Okay.
Discord's being retarded, by the way, because the audio's pre-recorded. The audio's being recorded on our end, so when you'll hear this, it'll be really gay. But don't worry, it's just Discord fucking up.
Yeah, okay, so I muted, I had to mute I had to mute another Discord chat because I keep getting notifications.
I had to mute Skype at the very beginning of this podcast.
Yeah, people always wanting to send me messages. I got too much fame. I'm too YouTube famous. PewDiePie needs to take his $1 million back.
Yeah, I know, right? Somehow you're more famous than me despite having less subs than me.
I don't even remotely agree with that, because like you're a horse guy, which automatically means you talk to quite a few people. I just get messages a lot because I make a lot of friends all the time. Because I'm one of those people who talks to everybody.
Yeah, as a horse guy, like, especially if you go to cons a lot, like, you'll just inevitably end up, like, hanging out. As long as you find them, at least, you'll end up hanging out with horse famous people, because you do the same thing, so naturally they're just gonna, like, want to hang out with you more, because you understand what they're talking about. And, you know, because hanging, honestly, though, now I get it, now that I've done it for so long. When horse famous people, especially people who make analytical content, hang out with normies, it's really uncomfortable. Because they don't relate the same way. They're not to that, because to a horse famous quote unquote person who does analysis content, I'm just a fellow creator, you know. I'm not a fan, so to speak. So because of that, it makes conversation more awkward, and it's like, and they're already like, all the horse famous people are already like socially awkward anyway. All of them are, like, besides F and GR, they're all socially awkward. So the fact that I can relate to them in the way that I do, like in a way that most creators can do, like it makes it easier on their part. As also, if you like make yourself look like a fucking idiot, like I do at every convention, then it's like it's even better. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if I went to a convention, I'd probably be loud and brazen and, going around in my Hawaiian shirts and making everyone uncomfortable.
You unironically
In
wear
other
Hawaiian
words, I'd be like,
shirts.
yeah, I'd be like Endless Jest, but Steven Universe and nowhere near as
Oh
good.
God.
That's how I would act in a convention. Because that's how I act in real life, pretty much.
Oh my fucking God, dude. You sound like a pretty interesting person.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Cause like, I'm very I'm very analytically minded and can be this like calm. I don't want to say intelligent sounding, but like kind of the person who talks about all these big things in a calm way. But then other times, I'm this screeching memer who loves everyone's attention a lot. And also, can also be like a complete normie and go out and talk to other normies and be happy and be fine. So I suppose I have several sets of footwear. In fact, you could say that I'm drowning in footwear.
Oh fucking. This podcast is over, ladies and gentlemen. That was it. No, no, I'm kidding. But I think, yeah, you kind of seem like that. Just from the impression I would get of you, you kind of seem like that, mind you, because you obviously you hung out. Like, by the way, guys, fun fact: we just met yesterday, both of us. But you can tell though. For me, I talk really quickly. I can kind of I talk. I can be calm, but that's not interesting. At least not in real life. In real life it is. You can get away with it, but in calls and shit, you have to be energetic. So I try to mimic that kind of at least affectate energy. But I kind of have this sort of I'm well articulated. I know a lot about stuff, just stuff in general. And I can,
You've read Das Kapital 5 times over. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, fucking! I haven't even read Volume 1 of Capital, to be honest. Not even the first chapter. I can't get through Capital. Das Kapital.
I've read half of the Communist Manifesto so far. I'm gonna read the rest of it next fishing trip I go out on, because when I go fishing, like I put the fishing lines on like in a stake so I don't have to hold it because I'm lazy, and I just cast it out and I wait for something to bite at it. Then I sit there and I read, and like I've been reading the Communist Manifesto. Then I got to go to the library and I'll get Capital and I'll read that.
I should go to the library.
I really like
and get Communist.
I really like how flowery the wording is. Like a lot of people would say, well, he goes on tangents that don't make any points or go on too long, and the wording is weird and kind of old sounding. But I like that about the book. So
well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Friedrich Nietzsche, the founder of nihilism, where the writing just sounds like a crazy person.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I remember someone saying that it's not a good book to start out with when it comes to being introduced to like socialism and communism, because it reads like a 19th century encyclopedia. So you're gonna have like just shit that like barely makes sense to us in the modern day. But Marx is a pretty good writer, to be honest. Like he has a lot of like good stuff. I'd say obviously, probably one of the most useful books actually of Marx is the Criticism of the Gotha Program, which is, you know what that is?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's basically like why I'm not a social democrat. Besides Rosa Luxemburg, that's besides the point.
Yeah, I mean under a social democracy, like how do I explain this? It sort of feeds back into the uh mm, I don't know how to articulate this when it's not in writing. But like if you tax the rich too much, all the rich go away, and it kind of the system is still uh not good enough. I don't know. I don't.
They call it two things. They call it brain drain, is one of the things. It's a couple of things. It's the brain drain and it's the corporate exodus. Those are like the two, like some of the main things they call it. You know, when corporations and like rich people, they leave the country because of taxation and shit. At least most of them, they call that like the brain drain, which is
Yeah. Yeah, and the way to keep them from leaving because you know took too much of their money is just to eliminate the idea of the corporation entirely and money in general. If you eliminate money, then you don't even have to worry about any of this stuff.
Well, it's like, you know, people get pretty people for it's a couple of things. For one, statistics have shown that people who are rich are naturally more selfish than people who are poor. It's not me being an asshole. It's me actually looking at statistics that like studies they've done on rich people, and it's shown that they are more, you know, they want to consolidate their wealth a little more than the average poor person who is willing to like give to charity and shit.
All a poor person wants to do is like survive,
not starve,
you know, and they can't even do that.
And so it's like, you know, a rich person will want to keep whatever they have because it's within their own self-interest to do such. But, you know, it's a whole kind of, you know, fucking hang the bourgeoisie and all that shit. But yeah. there is video during the Russian Revolution of them hanging bourgeoisie. Like, that exists. You can find it. I've seen it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not as bad as like an ISIS decapitation video, you know. It's like not. I've never seen one of those because I know it's gonna be horrible. But it's like it looks like a silent film. That's how weird it is. It's like
that's pretty messed up. Like, don't hang anybody. That's immoral. And the entire idea of communism is to be a moral system. But, like, you're killing people, so isn't that contradictory? That's one of the reasons why the Russian Revolution in general was very flawed, because it wasn't real communism.
Well, technically the way you're wording that is fallacious, but technically you're correct, because no one ever knows how to articulate this properly. I know, because no, I don't want to sound like an asshole, because I really don't want to sound like I know better than people, or I think I'm, like, better than people. I think for this specifically, though, I think people, generally speaking, don't know like how to articulate it properly. At least that's my point. That the Russian Revolution, it collapsed. Well, it devolved into the, sort of the pseudo failed bureaucracy that Trotsky called it, because there were so many factors that allowed for whatever that allowed the that allowed, you know, it to take hold, and for someone like Joseph Stalin, despite having trying to leave the head of the Central Committee like 4 times, was still voted back in because you can't, because the way the laws work, you're not allowed to just leave positions. At least when you're in the upper tier government, you have to be able to be let go, not just like leave, right? So, you know, that's why they call it, you know, it's the failed state or whatever. But even then, like, hanging people, in general, like, it sounds morbid as fuck, but, like, when I say it, you know, because I'm self-aware of that, but, that in general, that itself, I think, it depends, honestly, it depends on, like, what is, you know, deemed necessary for the time period. Like, you know, because socialistic and a communistic society would look different. In order to achieve that, you have to, you know, you have to be able to protect the society, right? But I think to a degree that will probably at some point require, us as a society killing the bourgeoisie or members of it, and the members of the fascist leagues and armies that will end up rising up to try to defeat it, right? So, I think it'll become more of a self-defense thing than just like kill them for the sake of killing them, right?
Yeah,
Like if
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have to kill Bill
I
Gates,
mean,
I won't kill Bill Gates. But if I have to kill Bill Gates, then bye bye, Bill. Go ahead
mm,
though.
yeah. I mean, like, I get that. I kind of get emotional at the thought of killing someone because I'm a pacifist and kind of I believe in a lot of Buddhist stuff and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So you're a faggot, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's like if the time if it requires that such for the I would love to have like a actually I forget which tendency of socialism this is, but I think it's Luxembourgism, which asks for the mass strike, which is basically, or the general strike, which is this huge fucking strike that is so powerful that instead of just asking for better conditions, now you can actually take control of the government from that mass strike. That's my preferred way of achieving the revolution, but and
Yeah.
instilling the dictatorship of the proletariat. But if that it will probably require some kind of violent coup or something like that, because the military itself is too powerful as an entity. So it's like what are you gonna do? Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's interesting that you mentioned coups, because there have been a lot of communist governments or socialist governments that have been established in smaller countries, and then the CIA comes in, and they start some kind of military thing, and then they appoint a dictator. They appoint a dictator to replace the democratically elected president by the people. Which I've looked into some of these cases, and usually, like, they look like nice guys. They don't look like bad guys, and yet the CIA comes in and tries to prevent any progress for the country. I don't know, man. It might be telling that they don't want communism to be achieved because they got money lining their
Well,
pockets.
again, it's within the bourgeoisie's best self-interest to protect its own interest. They would be willing, and that's why, for example, it might require hangings because the bourgeoisie have been shown over and over again to be able to fully willing to let morals go and just go ahead and kill people to to keep the capitalist institution alive, as well as the continued
Yeah.
exploitation of the third world, which is like intrinsic to capitalism, like was
Yeah.
Thomas
Yeah,
Sankara.
that's true. Yeah, like, and that's also one of the problems with democratic socialism is that it allows things like child labor in third world countries to continue to happen, most likely more of to happen. So money is more efficient because they're getting taxed so much. So it's morally the bourgeoisie is not looking very good.
Well, no, of course not. It's mind you, having anyone acquiring the wealth that it takes to become bourgeoisie is in itself immoral. It probably has been by immoral means at some point or another. Like, it's literally impossible to morally achieve the vast amounts of wealth that a bourgeoisie has. Literally impossible.
Yeah.
Even if you win the fucking lottery, it's
Yeah.
literally impossible because there are
Yeah.
points in which immoral things happen, right? But even with that, it's like democratic socialism itself, from what I see, inhabits itself into different ways. So, for one, it could there's different kinds of different types of democratic socialism. Like there's like the more social democracy type of dem socialism, where it's technically democratic socialism itself is basically from an ideology standpoint, the achieving of socialist society by democratic means via, we would expect, for example, a democratic socialist party to get into office, and then once they have enough members in like a parliament or a congress, to then just, activate the seizure of the means of production by legislation instead of by, incremental change or whatever the fuck, right? But also it could be something else. It could be like an established socialist or communist party, but with the allowance of non-capitalist parties or the allowance of capitalist parties, right? So it inhabits itself into different ways. But that is one of the flaws of social democracy, definitely. And as well, incrementalism and reform is that it allows for the continued exploitation of the third world, which will never cease unless capitalism is abolished. There's my...
And I mean...
Go ahead.
I mean, whenever I hear about, something like, all of the children that are, being exploited, or wildlife, or, the land that we live on, the air is basically being destroyed, and the world's getting sucked up by global warming, and the coal and stuff like that is making the money. So why would they change to more clean means of production, to more clean means of creating
energy?
What's it called? But energy. Because they already have a system that's making the money, and it's destroying the earth, but like they don't give a fuck.
They don't need to.
So so like doing a lot of screwed up stuff. I agree. We have to hang the bourgeoisie. I've become even more radicalized now.
Yes. Fuck. Well, it's like, that was something I realized over time, because I do a lot of thinking, and so I realized over time that that to it's shit that Marx already fucking realized, mind you. Like he knew, like, obviously he figured it out pretty fucking early. In the manifesto itself, he talks about it. About, like, I forget what it's called, and like it talks about like democracy or like government or something under capitalism. But that kind of shit, it's like, I figured it out on my own just with learning of socialist and Marxist tenets and stuff like that, the various beliefs and stuff like that. But yeah. Fucking seize the means of production.
This is the most what would it be? Red pilled, blue pilled?
Pink
I don't
pilled,
even
nigga.
know anymore. Yeah, we need to start a hammer and sickle pilled, a brand new pill, just for whatever this podcast was.
Pink. I know that they call it the pink tide, which is when back in like the early '80s, like the '90s, when South America elected a fuck ton of socialist and communist governments that were eventually toppled by the U.S., mind you. But like back during the Bush era, there were a bunch of like socialist and communist leaders that were in power at the time. And so technically, in my opinion, that's why they call it the pink tide. So therefore, I think they should call it pink pilled when you when you become radicalized by the realization that the bourgeoisie exists and they're pieces of shit. So yeah, pink pilled.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always been kind of against or biased against the rich people, the bourgeoisie, whatever, because I watched Capitalism: A Love Story, the Michael Moore documentary when it first came out. I think I was like, okay, that was 2009 when that came out. I was born in 2002. So I was 7 years old when I watched that film. And, my dad, I've always been fairly poor. I've always, there have been times when, like, we couldn't even afford food and I'd go a few days without food and shit like that. Which I'm doing a lot better now,
That's
just so
good.
you know. But, like, there have been times that were like that. And my dad would often talk about the problem with greed in companies and things like that. And I never really knew what my specific political ideology was called because I was always like a true blue liberal or whatever. I was like, yeah, Obama for the win and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I mean, the beliefs I had without even knowing the term at the time were always sort of communistic, and a lot of that had to do with how I was raised and the specific circumstance that I came out of. I think if I was in a rich family, I'd be like a full-on libertarian or
Oh,
something. Yeah, let the markets do
oh,
whatever
dude.
you want.
Honestly, libertarianism is if autism was an ideology.
Yeah, that's why Devu loves it so much.
Shit. Hell yeah, dude. But
Yeah, it's like that quote from Fight Club, where they tell you, on the TV that you can be a millionaire, but that's not how most people in it. What's the Fight Club quote? I gotta look this up.
I don't know. I've never watched Fight Club before.
Yeah, it's. You keep talking about your radical beliefs while I look this up.
Okay, so, well, while you look that up, actually, as well, there, I think I came to the realization as well that I find that well, how about I talk about this first? So, there was a video I saw, and this is like the main video that got me into socialism and communism. There's a quote. That I watched a video by a guy named Zezizi, who technically has subscribes to a socialist tendency that I don't even subscribe to. He's a Leninist, but he posted a video called "Socialism Has Worked," where it's basically a list of various socialist countries. Well, it's like an in-depth guide or whatever. It's a quick guide over socialist societies and socialist countries that existed in the world sometime during usually most of the 20th century that that functioned as socialism but was crushed by a different force that has nothing to do with socialism itself. And some of the ones were like the Shinmin Autonomous Region, which is like a region somewhere in like the Manchuria area of the world, like in like just above North Korea in like that little area in China. That was a anarchist region, as well as the free autonomous territory of Ukraine, the Catalonia and stuff like that. But my favorite was the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia under the leadership of Josip Broz Tito, which was kind of like the guy who became sort of introduction, at least for me, into socialism and communism. At least that was like the guy I was like that made me realize, hey, maybe socialism and communism was like the answer to society. Just how and I can give you a video. There's this amazing video that made during the 80s that was about Yugoslavia. That was made by some news station. I don't remember, like NBC or some shit. And they were talking, and they were just talking, they were going through Yugoslavia and talking about the society as well as tourism and stuff like that, because Yugoslavia is like one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, with like great lakes and like beautiful beaches and just how great the society was, and just how well it was, and how very much like the West it was, but it was still socialism. And that was what made me realize that, hey, maybe socialism is kind of fucking really, really Gucci. And that's kind of... And so that currently is, I think, my ideology right now. Like, tendencies among socialists change all the goddamn time. But currently, I consider myself a Titoist, which fundamentally speaking is an ideology that believes that the use of central planning or decentralized planning and markets changes for various socialist countries depending on the country itself. So, for example, the U.S. might rely more on markets, like market socialism, instead of like centralized planning, or might rely more on decentralized planning than markets or centralized planning. Just depends on the country. There you go. Was that long enough for you?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this Fight Club quote? I'm gonna keep talking till he starts talking again. Once you're back, just fucking say some shit or something.
Oh no, I'm alive. You cut out a little bit, but I got what you were saying.
So you told me to talk about my radical beliefs, just ramble on it, so I did.
Yeah, so basically the quote that I got from Fight Club: an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle-class children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war's a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd be all millionaires and movie gods and rock stars. But we won't, and we're slowly learning that fact, and we're very, very pissed off.
Yeah. I remember actually someone posted a thing which was like, what's a good socialist movie that was made in the United States, and one of the ones that was listed was Fight Club.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fight Club in a while, but it's a great movie. But of course, my favorite socialist movie of all time is Comrade Kim Goes Flying.
What the fuck is that? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's a North Korean film that's basically a huge meme between me and my friend cucked by the laws of North Korea.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
That's actually his username. But he's a cool Norwegian guy, and he's a democratic socialist, which I disagree with. But no, he's more of a libertarian socialist, I think.
Socialist?
Okay, but
gotcha.
yeah,
it's a rom-com.
But he's like a Bernie guy, and like Norway is like a very Bernie oriented place, like those kinds of people.
Yeah.
But like. I forget what I was talking about. Basically, Comrade Kim Goes Flying it's not a socialist movie whatsoever. That was just a meme, but it's a
rom-com.
It's a film. Yeah, it's a propaganda movie made in North Korea. And I don't know, me and him just find it hilarious. It's been a meme for a long time between us.
It's from what it says on here on this amazing. That's a 6.6 on IMDb, by the way, but. It has this amazing fucking description on the Wikipedia thing. That's Comrade Kim Goes Flying is a 2012 joint British, Belgian, North Korean romantic comedy feature film set and filmed in Pyongyang, North Korea. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'm actually sending a This is we made my friend Weeb Trash's server a North Korean
Sick,
server, and this is where that meme originated from.
Who's the woman if you've never been to a North Korean concentration camp? Jesus Christ! Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Which I actually said if I make $500 on Patreon, I'll go to North Korea to get arrested. I said on Twitter.
Well, in case you get popular, you probably should retract that statement, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll just do what Digi said. Well, it's not the current me if I said it a few months ago.
Oh, fuck. You right, though, TBH?
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those people who changes all the time. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a radical right-leaning fascist. Who knows? Probably not with the way I was raised, but
fuck. Yeah, honestly though, like I would hate to become fuck. Give me a sec.
Oh, this is. I'm not gonna cut this part of the recording out. I'm just gonna scroll through poll. I'm gonna
just scroll through POL becomes a fascist.
Endlessly.
There you go. But
okay, you're back.
What the fuck?
What were you saying about fascism?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would hate to become this one day, but I could technically I could see myself becoming like basically the next Milton Friedman. But I don't know if I could get to that point. Remember, I said libertarianism is the autism of ideologies. It is. It actually, that's when I said that. I realized in reflection, not now, but like when I first mentioned that, because I've said this before. It's so accurate. It's not even like it's accurate to the point where it's like it's funny. So it's like, you know, it doesn't understand how people work. It has a very binary focus on a very specific set of things. You know. They're not always, they don't come off as the nicest people. They might be pretty nice, but you don't know. They're pretty talented sometimes, but yeah, they're just not people. They're not like, you know, they're not a people person. Libertarian.
You've heard it here. Razor Reviews, a member of the Brony community, thinks that autistic people aren't people.
Oh my god. Hope no one from my community ever fucking watches this podcast in my life. I will kill myself.
Yeah, this is great. This is legitimately one of my favorite podcasts that I've been on.
Really? That's good. It means everyone else suck dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead though.
Mostly for the socialism discussion, because like it validates me to have someone else who shares my incredibly radical beliefs.
Yeah, it's pretty rare, to be honest. I'm trying to radicalize people currently, and it's kind of working. It's kind of working. I mind you, like when I was in junior year of high school, for the entirety of first semester, I sat next to a kid who I disagree with politically and stuff, but basically I spent every fucking lunch for the entire semester in debate over and over and over and over and over again. And after about like 3 or 4 months doing that, you start to get pretty good at articulating political opinions. So, you know, it's kind of just something it's basically just natural at this point. I can talk about politics forever and my radical beliefs, even though I'm new to it. Like, you know, still technically, you know, I could talk about it for like fucking ever. Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, good. It's good. It's good. We're friends then, because everyone I talk about politics to is always like, "Get the fuck out of here, Logan," or Outlaw. How dare you come in here with your dictatorship and all of this stuff? Like, what? You want the people to be slaves to a
dictatorship?
What?
My market, my free market.
Yeah, and then the other people I talk to, they're like, "Logan, shut up. I don't like politics. They make me sad."
Oh, dude, hot take. Did you know Trump is bad?
Whoa, man. You gotta set aside the black pills for a minute there.
Set aside the black pills there. Ultimate black pill.
Or what, do you just have like 1 million monitors set up in your room just researching everything Trump says to get that?
Oh my god, dude. Fucking hell. I can't even right now.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna be called even more of a cuck after this podcast.
Hell yeah, dude. Now, because I radicalized you even more during this podcast. I pink pilled you, bro.
Are you gonna do like a new YouTube channel called like Razor's Politics or something? You could be the anti-Razor Fist.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I could ever get to like Razor Fist's like level of like being able to sequence words and mesh them all in the same sentence like he does. I can't do that. Like, where because he constantly does like analogies and metaphors all of the time. Like every other sentence is a metaphor. I can't do that, so I don't know if I could do that. I do have a political channel though. I just don't talk about it at all, and I don't want anyone to watch it. I've needed to say certain things for a long ass time, and also there's tons of like radical left leaning YouTubers. There's tons of them out there. It's like I feel like it's a rising genre in the YouTube space, despite the fact that Google actively tries to make sure that they don't get seen. But yeah.
Yep, the bourgeoisie or
The
whatever
bourgeoisie.
the fuck, always trying to censor my freedom of speech. You know, they say they're libertarians, but they sure do like censoring people.
They do sure support the funding of anti-radical groups. Because there are people. I remember there was a guy who was talking about how they lowered the funding for extremist groups. On the suppression of extremist groups in Germany somewhere in a province, but I'm like, you're suppressing extremist groups though. That's political suppression. That's suppressing the freedom of speech, you fucking dumbass. Like, don't you realize that's a complete contradiction? And of course, he's a classical liberal, so my free market.
Ooh, liberals make me cringe.
Oh, dude, have you ever been on the subreddit shit liberals say?
No, but I have been on Lefty Poll.
That's basically just shit liberals say, to be honest, but just on 8chan.
Yeah, which I barely ever go on 8chan. Like, I've been there like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the MLP board on 8chan, and then I never came back.
You're like, oh, fuck this.
Ooh, bronies are bad. Get them away.
My cancer. My cancer. What the?
Top 10 brony analysts. Let me see. None of them. They're all bad. None of the current ones are good. I haven't seen any of your videos in terms of like analysis ones though, so I think I'll probably like you because you're like a smart.
Yeah,
cool
guy. I could send you my paragraphs I've written so far for the thing. It's pretty good. There's a couple of people I'd actually like to shout out and recommend for people because they're good. So because they're I personally still watch them. That's the only that's the only reason I recommend them. I would recommend British Ninja because he makes some pretty good stuff, some analytical stuff. For no good reason. If you don't care about drama, his actual analysis videos are pretty good. He recently did a video called how he would change MLP or whatever based off of that what culture wrestling thing or whatever they did for wrestling. He did that for MLP. It's pretty good. As well, I'd also recommend. This is probably one of the main dudes I'd recommend. Actually, is Fat Man Falling.
I've never
Fat
heard
Man
of this
Falling
guy.
is probably he's probably the closest thing I like. He is an analysis person who does pony analysis. He does every video he puts analysis in the title. I don't put analysis in my title because no one will watch it, but he does actually make truly analytical content, and it's really good. But technically the channel specifically, because he has 2 channels. He has Fat Man Falling, which he does normal stuff on, and then the second channel, which is what he talks about ponies, which is called Fat Man Falling Talks About Ponies. So that's another one I recommend, is Fat Man Falling Talks About Ponies, because it's really good. Pretty good analysis, good editing, better production than my videos. I have good analytical stuff too, but my production isn't as good. But yeah, also watch me, of course, and pledge to my Patreon. Of course, do that too, please.
I mean, I would if I had money. I mean, I patron the Pedantic Romantic, and the last patron that I sent to him, for some reason, like, the card didn't go through. I don't know why. I need to get, like, a better bank or something. I don't know. This discussion should not be on the
Yeah,
podcast.
probably not. But yeah. Okay. So yeah. Honestly, though, there are a few good members of the Pony Analysis community. I actually don't really hate any members of that community. Like, they're fine. They're fine people. In general, I have nothing against anyone specifically at this current point. Some of them are kind of like fucking with me right now. I don't really care. So it's like there's no reason to call them out. Well, yeah. So I'm guessing this is like we're nearing the end of this podcast, just from the tone I can tell.
Yeah, yeah. We got like an hour and 33 minutes or something like that. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this podcast. I'm probably going to call this the unironic communism cast, because the other one was completely ironic. This one is going to be the unironic one.
I was half thinking like I was going to suggest the title, the communism cast. We could technically, you could call it the oh god fucking damn it. Okay, give me a second. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we could call it technically. Well, I mean, what do you title your podcast?
I just put like blank cast on the main channel, which is where this is going. This is bread and butter
Oh
content.
fuck
right
me.
here.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Oh shit. The sees the memes of production cast, the pink pill cast. That's actually not like a bad title, honestly. Is the pink pill cast?
Yeah. I'll figure it out when I upload it. But yeah, it was good talking to you. I hope we do more stuff together, because you're a fun guy.
Yeah. I hope I talk to you again. I like your stuff. You should straight up do that the month of Steven Universe or whatever. Me and Matt have a parody of just Steven Universe analytical shit. That'd be fucking great. Like,
Yeah.
and you said September, so probably within the next couple of months then. If you say September, because, it might be October or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah. September is just next month,
Yeah.
so it's not that far away.
So you need to also obviously create a great, elaborate, way too long acronym title. So like, it's gonna be a really great acronym. Just you wait, guys. He'll make an announcement video on Outlaw Universe.
Just you wait, guys. He'll make an analysis video. That's pretty good. YouTube is bad, and every Steven Universe channel is these dumb theories, and I'm gonna conquer all of you. You just wait. I'll reach 10,000 subs. I'll reach $1,000 every second on Patreon. And then I will have enough money to finally form a military coup to seize the means of production and hang the Bulgarizé, and I will be king of the world, and we will establish world communism from my $1,000 per second on Patreon for making all these Steven Universe videos.
Dude, fucking, I'm about to get on that $400 of Patreon, be able to fucking execute by firing squad the balsamic vinaigrette. That was the single dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it was good talking to you. And I suppose we can stop our audios now.
Yeah. Wait. Also, one last thing I was gonna say. Just and then you probably won't include his voice on this, but subscribe to youtube.com/r/razor reviews MLP.